Holiday Fever was published in 2019 by Bullfrog Games. It was designed by Evan Mark Shaline and illustrated by Thomas Hilly. Bullfrog Games provided this in exchange for an honest review. 2 to 6 players do good deeds, buy gifts, and decorate their Christmas tree to create the most valuable Christmas. Players roll 2 dice to move around the board, resolving whatever space they land on. As you spend money and receive money, mark it on your sheet. Good deeds allow you to cancel debts. One of your goals is to fill your Christmas tree with 3 lights and 3 ornaments. Once you do so, the countdown to Christmas is on. Like in the main game, you'll roll and resolve your way along the calendar to December 25th. Naughty or nice cards can affect gameplay mechanisms, but this is the general idea. Gifts can have 1 or more value cards and can be given away as a good deed. Coal, which is worth negative money at the end of the game, cannot be given away, but there are ways to get rid of it. To break it down, move around the board, get on the nice list by spreading cheer, and get those decorations up in time for Christmas. That's Holiday Fever. Our games of Holiday Fever, including Setup and Takedown, have averaged around an hour, although luck plays a huge role. A lot of people prefer these types of games with full player counts, but I think that more than 3 people just extends things. The game otherwise doesn't really feel different across player counts. You'll need 3 by 4 feet to play with more than 2 people. The board is standard size, but then you have your player areas. Kids younger than 7 or 8, depending on reading and math skills, may struggle with understanding how the naughty or nice cards work or when to keep and when to trade/sell gifts. Since there's a lot to add up at the end, parents or older siblings could help calculate debts and deposits once the player is capable of handling the main gameplay. In our first game of Holiday Fever, a pretty eventful moment happened, and it wasn't a good one. I'll talk more about this and what do I think. Anyhow, on my first roll, I immediately landed on Naughty or Nice. I pulled Christmas Party, which got me onto the calendar and gave me 5 turns. I walked away with $500 before Mom and Dad could do a single thing. We were like, is this right? Dad still managed to win the game, but that was just because he was able to keep his debts under control, while I couldn't finish my tree, even though I was rich enough to buy what I needed. Holiday Fever feels longer than it is, and is longer than it should be. As you can imagine, that's due to the dice. Maybe you'll get those lights and ornaments quickly, then race to the end, but more often than not, you're going through the motions, rolling and moving, trying to get those last 1 or 2 items you need. If you roll doubles, you multiply that number by 10 and collect the deposit bonus. Someone with good luck will earn money for no reason over someone with bad luck. I'll talk more about this later. I do like how money is handled in this game. Like a credit card, you feel like you can buy everything you want, but then have all these debts piling up. My parents have some heavy economy games, but I don't think I've played a game before where you needed to balance your budget quite like this without having actual money in front of you. Then again, you can donate gifts to the needy or give a speech to thank your family, or even talk about how you plan on making the world a better place. All of these things give you a Christmas Spirit Star in order to cancel a debt. If you trigger the end by landing on Christmas, all of your debts are covered. What a prize! The person who landed on Christmas didn't always win our games, so isn't so overpowered. It makes sense that the naughty or nice cards can be overpowered. It again plays into this game's luck. Dad could be set back and be forced to pay money because his kid's broke an ornament. I could be forced to show everyone one of my gifts, opening me up to have it taken later. But Mom could rearrange her gift values or even sell coal. Of the cards, my favorites are the play anytime ones because they at least give players a choice. While Christmas is the featured holiday, this isn't religious. The general ideas, what are you thankful for, be a good person, and so on, apply to pretty much everyone. I think kids will have fun drawing and decorating the tree, but may feel frustrated by the luck of the dice and cards. Perhaps take out some of the really nasty ones if playing with people who don't enjoy sticking it to one another. As in many roll, move, and resolve games without a lot of player decisions, I found this became repetitive partway through the first game. There just isn't enough for me to do. This feeling only grew. Holiday Fever is a Monopoly-style game where you roll to move around the board, resolving where you land, but your goal isn't just about making the most money. It's about thinking about your role in the world, singing carols, and bonding together. It's very luck dependent, feels longer than its actual playtime, and doesn't offer players much control over their actions. For gamers or families like us, this isn't one that is going to hit our table. I think it's best for community centers and before/after school programs, Sunday school, and places like that where the message will be appreciated by those unfamiliar with modern board games. One of the most interesting things about this game is the message. It seems to say that the real meaning of the holidays is to do good things for each other, but at the end, it comes down to this: some are lucky, some are unlucky, and the ultimate goal is to have the most money.